Hello, this is Rhonda O'Brien. I am a born psychic, and I've been doing readings for over 20 years. I have never professionally really relied on any of these items: tarot, divination, cards. They're also called oracle or decks by any names. I don't want to call any of these out because I think they all have their function. I do know that I have been instructed by my guides, and that includes my higher self, and then I've had the same spirit guide for most of my life. But I've been informed to rely more on a pendulum, and I can include information on that. I teach a class where I go more in depth. But for me, Spirit tells me to use a pendulum instead of any of these items. And then a lot of times in readings, actually 100% of the time, someone's higher self is given the same instruction in readings and guided to the same sort of guidance. Like pendulum, you can use, you don't have to use a pendulum, but instead of any of these items, you can start using the universe for signs. And I think what I've learned over time is that any of these items can become a crutch. And being intuitive really is operating in that space where you're just relaying the information to the people, not putting your bend on it. And I don't know a ton about tarot, but I do know, since I do a lot of past life readings, that the tarot readers, even from the centuries where they had lines and lines of gypsies doing tarot readings, that's kind of the Eastern European like road that I see in a lot of past lives. Those were not the best readers, and I don't have time to research why, but I think there is a little bit to be explored about tarot. And recently I've heard a lot of sort of confusing messaging. I've heard that people only think that tarot readers are psychic, which I do not think is true. But if you have a different opinion, of course, share that. Also, there are fairs where they're just advertising for tarot readers. And so I guess I feel like there's a little bit of confusion around any of these items versus what like a psychic is, what a medium is, what a channel is. And I guess if you have any questions, let me know.